ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायति कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरक्षिते नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पति भूपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते। तप्तकांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। आज विशेष तिथि गोवर्धन पूजा। भगवान अपना पूजा अब करके ही दिखाया कैसे पूजन करता है। गोवर्धन कौन है? कृष्ण। और पूजक कौन है? कृष्ण। नंद महाराज प्रति वर्ष का भांति इस वक्त भी उन्होंने आयोजन किया सब ब्रजवासी इंद्र पूजन के लिए। तो कृष्ण तो छोटा बच्चा है, उन्होंने पूछा कि पिताजी ये सब आयोजन किसके लिए? तो बेटा समझता नहीं, हम लोग वैश्य जाति है, हमारा जीविका है गोरखा कृषि वाणिज्य। वाणिज्य तो हम लोग करता नहीं, गो पालन करता हूँ, कृषि करता हूँ। इंद्र का पूजन करने से अच्छा बारिश मिलेगा, ज्यादा अनाज पैदा होगा, घास पैदा होगा, पशु को पालन करने के लिए आसान रहेगा, इसीलिए पूजन कर रहा। तो उन्होंने उत्तर दिया, इंद्र तो आधिकारिक देवता है, ये तो कोई मालिक नहीं, आधिकारिक देवता। तो मूल जो है, हम लोग जिनका शास्त्रा में यहाँ रहता हूँ, कोई गोवर्धन का पूजा क्यों ना करे? जब जितना सब आयोजन किया था उसी से गोवर्धन पूजा शुरू किया तो इंद्र नाराज हुआ। ये गोपाल लोग, इनका कोई अकेल होता, छोटा बच्चा का कहने से ही हमारा पूजन बंद कर दिया, ये लोगों को मैं सबक सिखा देंगे। इसलिए उन्होंने संवर्तक बादल को बुलाया, यहाँ लगातार बरसते जाओ, ब्रजमंडल को पानी में डुबा दो। सब लोग भयभीत हुआ। तब कृष्ण बोला, आप लोग निडर रहिए, अवलोकन का भय करने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है। जिनका पूजन किया इन्होंने ही आपको रक्षा करेंगे। आप अपना सामान पशु आदि सब लेकर यहाँ आ जाइए। यहाँ का गोवर्धन का नीचे उन्होंने गोवर्धन का छत्र का माफी उठा लिया और अपना वाम हाथ का कनिष्ठ अंगुल के ऊपर नख जो है नाखून का ऊपर धार के रख दिया। सब उसका नीचे पशु अपना रसन वगैरह जो कुछ था सब कुछ लेकर वहां आ गए नीचे। 7 दिन 7 रात लगातार बरसाया। इतना पानी कहाँ गया? हाँ, डोला से भी एक बूंद पानी दिखा नहीं जाता। पानी गया कहाँ? सब विचार करने लगा। बाद में भयभीत हो गया, क्या करो? तो ब्रह्मा को पास गया, ये ऐसा ऐसा हुआ। तो ब्रह्मा ने उनको बताया, 1 साल पहले मैं भी एक गो बालक को और गौ का बच्चा सब हरण करके सुमेरु पर्वत का गुफा में छुपा के रख दिया था। लेकिन 1 साल बाद जाकर के देखा गोचारण ऐसा ही चल रहा है, इसमें कोई भी बदल हुआ नहीं। कोई गोपालक रोज आता है, गोचारण करके घर में जाता है। इसमें भी 1 साल तक लगातार ऐसा आचरण किया। 1-2 दिन नहीं, 1 साल तक। तो मैंने देखने के लिए गया। जब देखा तो ऐसे ही है। तो हमने सुमेरु पर्वत का नीचे जो छुपा के रखा था ये भी देखा उधर, और इधर देखता हूँ इधर भी गोपो बालक सब है। वो सब सुआ है जिसको सुलाया था, और इधर सब गोचारण लीला बराबर चल रहा है। तब तो भय हुआ। उन्होंने मैंने ब्रह्मा उनको स्तुति किया, नतमस्तक हुआ। तब उन्होंने मुझे कृपा करके अपना रूप दिखाया। क्या रूप दिखाया? तो ये कृष्ण गोचारण भी करते हैं और सुआ भी है। तब बोला माई माई माई। फिर माया का भी मोहन करने वाला है, इसलिए इनको बोलता है मदन मोहन। मदन जीव को मोहित करता है और वही मदन को भी मोहित करता है कृष्ण, इसलिए मदन मोहन। सब मैंने स्तुति किया, उन्होंने कृपा किया, तुमने जाओ। मतलब मैंने जो बात बोला, जो खाली खुटी बोला, इसका बाद मैं उनको पास जाऊं कैसे? तो ऐसा नहीं, जाओ सुरभि को आगे करके तुम लोग जाओ। सुरभि उनका प्रिय है। तब ऐरावत हस्ती के ऊपर सर्वगंगा का जल ले जाकर उनका चरण पूजन करो। तब उन्होंने ऐसा किया। तो भगवान बोला कि तुम हमारा पूजन क्यों करते? मैं तो नंदो गोप का लड़का हूं। आप ब्रह्मांड का मालिक है, सृजन करने वाला है, और मैं एक गोरा का लड़का ही। इसको क्यों बोलना? आप ही सब तो ऐसा ब्रह्मा को भी मोहन किया, और इंद्र को भी दर्पचूर्ण किया। साधारण व्यक्ति को समझने के लिए बड़ा कठिन। 1964 में हमारा मठ में, वृंदावन गौड़ीय मठ में नूतन हॉल बनाया, और उसमें सिर्फ 5 शो बनाया। एक हुआ देवकी का वहाँ भगवान का आविर्भाव हुआ, उनको ले जा करके गोकुल में छोड़ के आया, और दूध निकाल रहा है गौ से, माँ यशोदा कृष्णों के लिए। फिर वो सब लेके जा रहा है, बारिश हो रहा है, तो इसलिए उनका जैसे पानी में गीला ना हो, उसलिए नाग ने उनको ऊपर छतरी बन के पीछे पीछे जा रहा है। जाते जाते यमुना में वो बच्चा गिर गया। गिर गया तो भयभीत तो हुआ, तो यमुना उल्टा चढ़ने लगा, उनको उठा लिया। ये कोई संभव होता है? इसको ही बोलता है ईश्वर, कर्तुम अकर्तुम अन्यथा कर्तुम जो समर्थ सएव ईश्वर। ऐसा देखा दिया। 7 दिन का अंदर में किसी को कोई भूख प्यास हुआ, किसी ने नींद किया, तो कैसे बीत गया? और वही देखा जा, इंद्र वज्र से इसको शेष कर देंगे। वो भी वज्र आवाज करता है, बारिश गिरता है, तो बारिश कहाँ जाता है ये लोगों का समझ में आया नहीं। तो वहाँ बच्चा लोग पूछते हैं, महाराज ये जो दूध निकलते है माता यशोदा, ये सचमुच दूध है? मैंने बोला पी के देखो, सचमुच दूध है कि नहीं है, पी के तो देखो। पी के देखता है, ऐसा ही तो एकदम गर्म दूध निकालता है। जैसे गौ का दूध निकालने का वक्त थोड़ा गर्म रहता है, इसी में भी ये गर्म हुआ, थोड़ा से पी के भाई भाई करके पिया करके तो ऐसा है। तो भगवान लीलामय सब कुछ करते हैं। आज ऐसा आवाज होता है बिजली का तो लोग भयभीत होता है, आज कुछ होता है। तो इसे देखकर जो लोग हमारा मठ में आया था और हमारे साथ मिला, कि यहाँ नियम है मंदिर में जितना चढ़ाव होगा उसका हम लोग 82% लेता हूँ, बाकी मठ वाला को। तो अब आपका मठ का महिमा बोलूंगा, बोले ऐसा मठ का महिमा बोल के पैसा कमाने के लिए धंधा हमने सीखा नहीं, हमारा गुरु जी ये बात सिखाया है। तब वे लोग बदल प्रचार करने लगा, ये तो पहलवान का मठ है, यहाँ सब पहलवान रहते हैं, ऐसा बोल के अपप्रचार किया। कोई पंडा अपना जजमान को लेकर वहां जाना नहीं, सबको मना कर दिया। लेकिन जब चारों तरफ फैलाव हो गया, फर्स्ट टाइम इन नॉर्दर्न इंडिया, ऐसा नॉर्दर्न इंडिया में कहाँ हुआ नहीं। आजकल तो सब कर रंगनाथ मंदिर वगैरह सब बनाए, लेकिन कोई नहीं बनाया सब देखने के लिए आया। एक पंडा दूसरी पंडा को बोलता है तुमने क्यों आया? तो बोलता है हमने तो आया तुमने जजमान को साथ लेके आया क्यों? तो वो टॉर्च लाइट से मैं उसको सिर फोड़ा, आपस में झगड़ा किया, लेकिन सबको आने पड़ा, सब आ गया सब देखने के लिए। ऐसा कि प्रसिद्ध महात्मा जो था वो भी आया, आनंदमयी माता भी आई, हरि बाबा आया, ये सब बहुत जानकारी है, प्रसिद्ध है। वो चिट्ठी लिखा गुरु जी को, ये हम लोग जा सकता हूँ दर्शन करने के लिए। तो पहले गुरु जी ने चिट्ठी दिया था मुझको, ये 2 लाइन पढ़ना, एक माता लोगों का बच्चा को और एक पुरुष आदमी को लिए। हमने बनाया 3, क्योंकि महाराज चिट्ठी लिखते हैं कलकत्ता से, और मैं यहाँ फील्ड में हूँ, देखता हूँ कि इतना भीड़ होगा ये स्वयं ठीक रहेगा नहीं। तो पहले गुरुजी ने मुझे बोला था कि 3 का जरूरत नहीं था, 2 ही यथेष्ट होता, लेकिन जब भीड़ देखा तो बोला 3 करके अच्छा किया, नहीं तो ये सब लोग को मैं कैसे दर्शन कराता। एक VIP जाएंगे, एक जेंट्स, एक लेडीज। जो जेंट्स है वो तीसरी लाइन में, उसका नीचे बार रेती का बोरा लगा दिया, ऊंचा किया, वो ऊंचा करके वहां से साफ देखेगा, किसी को देखने में रुकावट हुआ नहीं। तो ऐसा ही यदि एक प्रदर्शनी में देख करके लोग इतना मोहित होता है, और वही 64 कला का जो मालिक है, 64 कला जिनसे प्रकाशित है, उन्होंने जब माया करेंगे कौन समझेगा। 7 दिन का अंदर में किसी ने पानी पिया, भोजन किया, कैसे 7 दिन बीत गया किसी को मालूम रहा। अभी जो लोग है सब देखा, ये ना होने से भी तो सब पालित तो हुआ। तो इंद्र अभी क्या करे, तो जा करके सूर्य भी ले करके उनको पूजन किया, और वही जो जाकर जहाँ खड़ा हुआ उनको बोलता है गोविंद कुंड, गोविंद कुंड। और ऐसा हुआ। तो भगवान का लीला समझना असंभव, कौन समझ सकता है। वृंदावन दास ठाकुर ने चैतन्य भागवत में बार बार उल्लेख किया कि ताने जानीते पारे यदि ना जानाए। भगवान का कौन जान सकता है जब उन्होंने अपने जानकारी ना दे। तो कोई समझा, तब इंद्र वहां जाके चरण धुलाया, माफी मांगा। तो ये सब आधिकारिक देवता एक जायगा में नहीं, बार बार ऐसा होता है। इसलिए ठाकुर नरोत्तम ने बताया, इसलिए गोविंद सेवा ना पूजवे देवी देवा, नरोत्तम यही तत्ववादी। अपना इंद्रियों से इंद्रियाधिपति भगवान को सेवा करना, कोई देव देवी को पूजन नहीं करना। इसलिए ये आधिकारिक देवता है, ये लोगों का पूजन से किसी को वास्तव मंगल होगा नहीं। कैसे एक एक करके दिखाया। इंद्र पूजन करने वाला को इंद्र से भय था तो रहा, ब्रह्मा का पूजन करने वाला वो रहा। इसमें भी शिव को आराधना करता थे कौन? बानासुर, और बानासुर वो कृष्ण का साथ लड़ने के लिए आया, शिव भी उनको साथ लड़ने के लिए आया। क्या उद्देश्य है? द्वारकापुरी को जला दो। तो द्वारकापुरी को क्या जलाएगा? उससे पहले ही काशी को जला दिया। तब शिव आरोही काशीराज लड़ने लगा तो क्या करेगा? कुछ नहीं कर पाया, तब शरणागत हुआ। तो उन्होंने भगवान से प्रार्थना किया। कौन? शिव। जब प्रभु अपने तमोगुण का क्रिया करने के लिए मुझे लगाया, ध्वंस करने के लिए, तो इसलिए हमारा लेबा खराब होता है। आप मुझे ऐसा स्थान पर भेज दीजिए जहाँ पर एक देवा ना हो। तब उनको भेज दिया एकाम्र कानन में। एकाम्र कानन कहाँ है? जो बाहरी विचार से हुआ भुवनेश्वर, वहाँ शिव चला गया। और उनका दिमाग ऐसा होगा नहीं, इसीलिए अनंत वासुदेव का प्रसाद से शिव का भोजन होता है। उस मंदिर का ऊपर में, शिव का मंदिर का ऊपर में रहता है त्रिशूल, लेकिन वहाँ भुवनेश्वर में मंदिर का ऊपर में त्रिशूल नहीं है।
पहले इसको बोल देते हैं, फिर महाराज जी तारपरे अपनी आर बोले देते।
अच्छा,
Everybody can hear if I speak like that. Shri Maharaj started mentioning that today is a very special day, the day of Govardhan Puja. Krishna, he himself asked all the Brajavasis. हाथ में ले लो बेटा, ये हाथ में ले लेना तो ऊपर आ जाए। अच्छा, ये नीचे रहे, वो ऊपर हो जाए। Krishna asked all the Brajavasis to worship Giriraj. Who is Giriraj? Krishna himself. And who is worshipping him? Through Brajavasis, Krishna himself. That means Lord, in reality, he is teaching through his own conduct that how one should not worship anybody else except him. Through this pastime, he showed this very clearly. Srila Maharaj started mentioning that how Nanda Baba, Mother Yashoda, and all the Brajavasis, they were going to worship Indra like every year they used to perform. But when Krishna was young and he desired to establish this truth that there is no need to worship demigods, at that time he asked Nanda Baba that, Baba, why Mother Yashoda is cooking so many things? She is making all these preparations. For what purpose? At that time, when Nanda Baba told him that, Krishna, we are Vaishyas, means we come under the category of those group, that group which is called Vaishya, means those who do krishi, farming, as well as having cows, and they do some kind of business. So he said, we don't do any kind of business, but we maintain our life through farming, as well as cow herding. keeping cows with us. So, for this, we are in need for water. If there is plenty of water, then what happens? Grass can grow very nicely. Fruits are there, all the crops can be very good. Cows eat good grass. We also get good things to eat. By this, our life is very smooth. So, if Indra can provide water properly, then and only then all these things are possible. But if Indra will not do that, then what will happen? Then we will be facing so many problems. So when Nanda Baba was explaining this, at that time Krishna, even though he was manifesting a pastime of very young boy, at that time he started mentioning that even though Indra may provide water, but still he is not really providing that much sport which we get from Giriraj Govardhan. Giriraj is actually doing such a big favor to us. How? Our cows go there, grass also grows there, he keeps the water with him, reservoirs are there. In different ways, he is taking care of all of us. So, a personality who is doing so much favor to us, why don't we worship that personality? Why we have to worship Indra? He is only providing water. And I have heard that he is Adhikarik Devata. Means he is not the real cause of giving us water. He is being ordered by the Supreme Personality. That's why he gives. This service is been awarded to him by the Lord. So it is better that we can worship Giriraj Govardhan instead of worshipping Indra. When Nanda Baba got convinced, all the Brajavasis they agreed. Then they offered everything to Giriraj. And then Indra, he became angry. He started saying to his associates that these Brajavasis, they are not so intelligent. Just by the words of a little boy, they have changed their mind. They offered everything to Giriraj. I have to teach them a lesson. So when he started thinking like this, then what came in his mind? He called his Samvartak Megh. There are so many different kind of clouds. But on that day, Indra, he called Samvartak Megh. The cloud whose name is Samvartak. Means on the time when he will pour the water, that water's density or whatever you call it, it will be on the size of the drop of water, like the trunk of elephant. It will be so big, and it can continuously rain without stop. So he called them, and on the other side, Krishna, to protect as well as to give assurance to all the Brajavasis that nothing will happen. He gave his words that there is no need to get worried at all. Does not matter how much rain comes, but a personality to whom we have worshipped, he is there to save us. So there is no need to get worried at all. So at that time, Krishna, he lifted Giriraj Govardhan on his left hand's smallest finger. And Śrīla Mahārāja mentioned, not on the finger even, on the tip of the nail of that finger. He holded Giriraj Govardhan for 7 days, 7 nights. All the Brajavasis, along with their cows and other animals even, everybody came over there, took shelter under Giriraj Govardhan. Srila Maharaj mentioned 2 and 3 special things. That first thing is that for 7 days, 7 nights, not even a single Brajvasi, what to speak of elderly people or young people, even the babies, those who were in the lap of their mothers, even they did not felt hunger or thirst. There was no feeling even in them. Why it was like that? Because they were drinking the nectar emanating from Krishna's face. They were looking at him. They were tasting, relishing that nectar which was emanating from his face. So that's why there was no thirst, there was no hunger at all. And then Srila Maharaj mentioned that even though this Samvarta cloud were pouring so much water, but still the water did not came at all on the earth. It was poured on Giriraj Govardhan, but not even a single drop came on the ground. Otherwise, flood would have come over there. So where the water has gone, Srila Maharaj at this point he started mentioning that this is the miracle of Lord. This is the pastime of the Lord, that anything and everything is possible for him to perform. He is known as Kartum, Akartum, Anyatha Kartum. That particular thing which is impossible for others, but can become possible, or that thing which is possible, he can make it impossible also. He can do either way, whatever he desires for his pastimes. So, when it happened that not even a single drop fall on the ground, Indra, he became worried that where the water is going, even though he is demigod, so much intelligent, but he was unable to think about it, that what's happening. That's why he took shelter of Brahma and asked him. Then Brahma explained him that actually, just before 1 year, I also committed a mistake. I also made a mistake. So you have done the same thing. I had to ask forgiveness. Now you have to do the same thing also. You have to go and beg. So when he heard this, he was like, okay, what I have to do? He got all the suggestions from Brahma that Krishna, he loves his cows a lot. So you take Surabhi with you. Follow Surabhi. First let Krishna see Surabhi. Then he will not be so much angry to you. So, and then you take the water of Ganga from Swargalok, from heavenly planet. Take that water from there on the back of Airavat, this elephant. And then you can bathe Krishna with that water. Surrender yourself over there. Then and only then you will be protected. So he heard this from Brahma and followed his words. Came to Braj, asked for forgiveness, and then bathed Krishna. The water which bathed Krishna, touched his lotus feet, became Govinda Kunda. So this is the pastime which Srila Maharaj mentioned. Meanwhile, he remembered one thing, that in 1964, on the order of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Madhav Goswāmi Maharaj, there was an exhibition in Vrindavan in Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math. That was the first time in northern India that kind of exhibition was held. But like electrical instruments were used, and the cow was there. Krishna, baby Krishna is drinking direct water from the udders, whatever you call it, udders from the cow. And Mother Yashoda was there. So all these things were having lighting and hands were moving. Krishna is drinking milk with his own hands. And then so many Brajvasis, they came to see all these things. And then somebody asked Srila Maharaj, that, oh, we see that milk is coming out, Krishna is drinking, some milk is falling down and going other side. Is this milk or something else? Then Srila Mahārāja said, you want to drink? You can drink it. And then you can tell. Then he filled the cup and gave that person, oh, this is really milk. So everybody was astonished to see at that time, because that was the first time when they were seeing this kind of machine. And then over there, the pastime of Giriraj Govardhan was also displayed. So Srila Mahārāja, he mentioned that even though the main point he wants to mention is that people at that time, they were astonished to see all these things which were mechanical. Then what to speak of that particular thing when Krishna, he himself manifested his pastime, and then Indra or others, how much astonished they will be by seeing that what's really happening, where the water is going. And how come that such a small boy is able to hold Giriraj Govardhan? How come these Brajavasis, they are having no worries at all? So they were unable to conceive it. It was inconceivable for them. So Srila Mahārāja related this pastime with this Vrindavan exhibition, that even though it was not such a big thing, but for them it was very big, that, oh, what's happening? Srila Mahārāja mentioned meanwhile, during this, while he was explaining this, that his Guru Maharaj was in Kolkata at that time. He asked Srila Mahārāja to arrange for this exhibition. Everything was arranged. Then Srila Mahārāja, he got information through letter that, oh, you can have 2 lines, like 2 separate lines made out of rope or somehow, that people can, one in the one area, ladies can go, in the other side gents can walk. So you can make 2 pathways, and like a barricator should be there, something like that. But then Srila Mahārāja wrote him back that, I think 3 is better. Then his Guru Maharaj just said, no, I think 2 is better. But still Srila Maharaj made 3. And then when his Guru Maharaj came here, he saw those 3 separate lines. Then he again commented that 2 was enough actually, but it's okay because you have made 3, no problem. But then when the time came, because this news went everywhere in Braj, and many people from many places, they came to see this exhibition. And then Srila Mahārāja mentioned, like, the famous personalities of that time, Anandamayi Ma, who was the guru of Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India at that time. She used to live here also. Hari Baba, a very great personality. Atul Krishna Goswāmi, different personalities. They wrote letter to Srila Madhav Goswami Maharaj that we are hearing that you have this exhibition in your mutt and we want to come and see. But we are old people. Is it possible we can come? You can arrange something? So then Srila Madhav Goswami Maharaj answered, yes, we have 3rd line for VIP people. I can take you personally. So in one line there were male people going, in the second line ladies were going, and 3rd line was for VIP people. And so Srila Madhav Goswami Maharaj himself bring these dignitaries through that line. And then when he was doing that, then he asked Srila Maharaj, like just by saying, wise work. Like this, he went like that. So Srila Maharaj remembers again and again by telling us that it's not that whatever, like we say, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, Chittete Kariya Ekya, whatever comes from the lotus mouth of Guru, one has to follow it without considering anything else. But it does not mean that for each and everything like this also has to be followed. Guru, he manifests his Laukik Leela, means Mugdhata. He manifests his pastime in such a way that he gives us opportunity to serve him in a proper way. And he sees that how really we are concerned about proper seva. So if we fail in that area, then that's a loss on our part. Then Srila Maharaj mentioned, that's why I did not consider that, oh, I'm not following his words, or I will be making offense. But that was not the thought. I was doing with very good intention. That's why I was having no ill feeling in my heart that, oh, anything can happen like that. So in this way, Srila Maharaj mentioned that how that thing was being arranged by him. And then it was very like local pandas. Srila Maharaj remembered one more thing in between. That local pandas came to Srila Maharaj because he was taking care of everything. So they asked him that Maharaj, in Vrindavan, so many pilgrims come. We take them to different places in Braj, and we are having a condition with all the temple authorities that we bring the pilgrims. Whatever donation they give, 82% of the donation will come to us, and 18% of that will go to the temple authorities. So that time Srila Maharaj said, I told them, this is not what our Gurudev has taught us. You bring anybody for darshan or not, that's not our business. But we are not agreed for anything like that. Whatever they offer for the service of Lord, that will be used for the service of Lord, not for anything else. That's why Srila Maharaj said, first they said, we will not bring anybody. But then one after another, pilgrims, because they are different places, so they themselves started asking Pandas, so why don't you take us to that place where the exhibition is going on? Because that was there for 7 days. So why don't you take us over there? So then one after another, Pandas were bringing their pilgrims with them. And then one Panda was telling another Panda in front of Mahārāja that, oh, we had this discussion that they don't agree with our 82% margin. So why we have to bring? You promise na you will not bring anybody. Then he said that, oh, I have not brought anybody with me. I am just coming by myself for darshan. But why you have brought pilgrims with you? So they were having fight among themselves even. But then another one Panda said, actually what to do? All the pilgrims just having one thing on their mouth nowadays. They just say, we have to go there for exhibition. We have to go there for exhibition. So what should be done? So in this way, Srila Maharaj remembered that how these Pandas were also coming and how we established this in the first time in Braj, that we are not going to give anything to the Pandas. If something comes for the service of Lord, that will be only used for his service. That was also been established at that time. So in this way, Srila Maharaj remembered that how the pastime of Lord is so much having attraction in it. If Krishna, the time when he is holding Giriraj Govardhan, how everybody will be attracted to him, how they will be seeing and relishing, how come they can have hunger or thirst? So in this way, Srila Maharaj related this. And then Srila Maharaj mentioned that Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, he has written that what to speak of Brahma, what to speak of Indra, nobody can understand the pastime of Lord unless and until he himself wants, desires that somebody can know about him or his pastime. That's why Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, he writes, Ketane janite pare yadi na janai. Who can know him or his pastime unless and until he himself desires that somebody can know about him. And then Srila Maharaj mentioned that through this pastime, Srila Krishna, he has established that there is no need to worship any demigod if you have taken complete shelter at the lotus feet of Lord. He remembered the words of Srila Narottam Das Thakur, who says, Rishi ke Govinda Seva, na bhajibe Devi Deva. Narottam ei tattva gaje. Srila Narottam Das Thakur is saying that I am speaking in that kind of sound, like the sound of clouds. When heavy rain is going to come, at that time lightning? Thunder. When very heavy lightning is there, very grave sound comes. So Narottam Das Thakur is saying that called gaje. Narottam Das Thakur is speaking in that grave sound way, that way. He is saying that Rishi ke Govinda Seva, with your senses, with your five senses, you must serve the lotus feet of Govinda, nobody else. Na pujibe devi deva. Never ever think about worshipping or doing anything for any demigod or demigoddesses. Why? Because this has been established by Krishna himself, that if you will take shelter of Giriraj, then there is no need to worship anybody else. Then Srila Maharaj mentioned Brajvasis. They were having no fear at all in their heart while they were while they were standing over there under Giriraj Govardhan. Why? Because a person will not have any kind of fear when he is in the shelter of the Lord. Because Lord has given them shelter, that's why there was no fear at all. There were devotees who were worshipping Shiva or Brahma. They were always having fear in their heart. But the devotees of Krishna can have no fear in their heart at all. Why? Because they have taken shelter at the lotus feet of that personality who is Sarva Shaktiman, who is having all the power in him. Hare Krishna. बोलूं 2-4 मिनट 5 मिनट और बोलूं आचे समय आचे एक तो
जब कृष्ण लीला से देखेगा तो लोगों को जो ऐसा क्रिया होता है और जो वास्तव में देखेगा उनको क्या होगा। ऐसा कि कोई जब देखा कि बारिश हो रहा है, वज्र गिर रहा है, बिजली चमक रही है, ऐसा देखा सब तो कितना निषेध किया था, कोई रोक नहीं सका, एक एक करके सब आया दर्शन करने के लिए। इतना आकर्षण और वास्तव में कृष्ण लीला ये जो सबको आकर्षित करेंगे, इसमें कोई शंका हो सकता है? नहीं हो सकता। इसलिए बोला कि इनका जो लीला कृष्ण ज्योति को लीला सर्वोत्तम नर लीला, नर बपू तहार स्वरूप। कृष्ण का जो लीला मत्स्य कुर्म बरह नृसिंह वामन राम सब जो लीला, इससे सर्वोत्तम कौन लीला? कृष्ण लीला। इसलिए नरबपु तहार स्वरूप, ये जो मनुष्य का माफिक व्यक्तित्व ये है उनका स्वरूप। स्वरूप में ना होने से इस सृष्टि में नहीं आ सकता। इसलिए बोला ये सेवा जब करेगा तो हृदय में प्रकाशित होगा, और यही ये सब तीर्थ आदि जब प्रणय भगवत के साथ भ्रमण करे तब उनका हृदय में जो विरह अग्नि जलता है उनको ताप हमारा शरीर में लगेगा, और वही ताप लगने से मुझको भी गर्म होगा पैदा होती है। और नहीं तो ऐसा देख के आया कोई क्रिया होगा नहीं। ये लोगों का कोई विरह जागता है, इसलिए देखा गया वही गोविंद कुंड का किनार पर पूज्य पूरी गोस्वामी महाराज जब चैतन्य चरितामृत से पाठ किया तो सब आदमी जितना था सब इतना ही मोहित हुआ जो सबका आंखों में आंसू बहने लगा। मैंने पूछा कि ऐसा क्यों भी होता है, तो इस वो लोग बोला ये नहीं समझ आता है। तो इसीलिए ही बोला, यदि नरोत्तम ठाकुर बोला तीर्थ यात्रा परिश्रम केवल मनेर भ्रम सर्व सिद्धि गोविंद चरण। और इधर ठाकुर भक्त क्या बोला, गौर अमार्य अवस्था करल भ्रमण रंगे शेषवस्थान हेरव आमी प्रणयी भगवत संगी। इनमें कोई विरोध है? कोई विरोध नहीं है। इन्होंने एक तरफ बोल रहा है और एक तरफ बाकी है। इसीलिए जो लोग कोई विरह अनुभव किया, इनका साथ जाए तो फायदा होता है, नहीं तो फायदा होता नहीं। उनका हृदय में जागृत होगा विरह। एक पशु का भी वो बच्चा मर जाता है, वो रोती है, उसी से मनुष्य का हृदय में वो दुख पैदा होता है। तो उसका भाषा समझा कोई? वो तो सिर्फ अपना भाषा में आवाज करता है, तब भी इनका अनुभव होता है। इसलिए जाने ना जाने प्रणयी भक्त के साथ ऐसा तीर्थ करे तो उनका क्रिया अवश्य ही होगा। इसलिए हमारा परम गुरु जी ने ब्रजमंडल परिक्रमा शुरू किया, नवद्वीप परिक्रमा शुरू किया और वही आदर्श दिखाया। जैसे जैसे ये करो यही आदर्श अनुसार हम लोग चल रहा है। जब भी हमारा इतना विरह हृदय में पैदा हुआ नहीं, तब भी इसको अनुशीलन करने से ये मंगल अवश्य ही होगा। इसलिए धाम दर्शन करना सिर्फ नहीं, ये गिरिराज गोवर्धन का पूजन, इसका लीला स्मरण भी मंगलदायक है। बंद कर। अच्छा मंडल है, जाओ।
Śrīla Mahārāja started again. Śrīla Mahārāja started speaking again that how Krishnera jatek lila sarvotam nar lila nar vapu tahar swarup. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Śrīla Kaviraj Goswāmi has mentioned that Krishnera jatek lila, even though Krishna, he has performed his pastimes by taking so many different incarnations, but still, even though he appeared as Nrsingadev, Varaha, Vaman, but what is his own Swarupa? Krishna jatek lila sarvotam nar lila. Among all his pastimes, in any other incarnation, among all those, topmost is Krishna Leela. Why? Because in Krishna Leela, he manifests his pastime as an ordinary human being. For holding Giriraj Govardhan, he did not increase his body or did not show his any other opulent form. Just in that ordinary young boy's form, he holded Giriraj Govardhan. Why it is considered topmost? Because that is the form which is his Swarup in reality. That is the Swarup of the Lord, eternal Swarup, in which he himself, that's the cause of all causes. That is the form from where all other incarnations manifest. So that's why this is the own Swarup of Krishna. Krishna Nar Vapu Tahar Swarup. In his Swarup, he is like an ordinary boy, having 2 arms, and plays with his sakhas, all these things. So then Srila Maharaj mentioned that, but in whose heart this particular thing can manifest, that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the cause of all causes. Even though he seems like an ordinary person, ordinary boy, but he is not that. Who can understand this? And who can understand this inconceivable task, that Supreme Personality of Godhead at the same time manifesting himself as ordinary boy, but still he is not ordinary, very special, but again at the same time having love for him like an ordinary person is having for any other ordinary person, not for the Lord. Like when somebody is having some respect for the Lord, then he considers he is the master, I am servant. But Krishna Lila is so vast and so much important, having its glory. What is that? That even though he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, having much more power than any other incarnation, but still at the same time, that personality, he becomes so much controlled by his devotees that no other incarnation can even do that. This is a very special glory of Krishna Leela. All these things can manifest in the heart of that person. Those who are really desiring to have that kind of connection with Krishna, the kind of affection, love, relationship which Brajvasis is having for Krishna. That's why he mentioned, Seva se hriday mein prakashit hota hai. If somebody does seva of Krishna by following the footsteps of Brajvasis, then and only then this particular thing can manifest in their heart. That even though in one corner of their heart, my brain, they can understand his Supreme Personality of Godhead, but at the same time they can conceive this also very clearly, that they can love him and have relationship with him in such a way that an ordinary person is having relationship with other. This can manifest by the association of great personalities, hearing about Brajavasis seva from them. At this point, Srila Maharaj started mentioning that that's why it has been mentioned that if somebody is going to worship Giriraj Govardhan, or going for parikrama, or going even for Brajmandal parikrama in other places, he is mentioning why I am saying again and again about pranay bhaktas, that they have to go with those pranay bhaktas, those who are having relationship with that place. Those devotees, when they go over there, they are having fire of separation in their heart. And when we go with them, at that time that fire touches us also. And all these truths automatically by their association manifest in our heart. We desire to have our relationship with Krishna like they are having. So in this way, he mentioned in between that one time during Brajmandal Parikrama itself, when we were in Giriraj Govardhan, and my Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, he started reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, the pastime of Madhavendra Puri Pada, and how he was there at the lotus feet of Giriraj Govardhan near Govinda Kund. And when he started reading that, at that time Srila Maharaj mentioned, anybody and everybody, whoever were there, everybody was their heart melted. Everybody started crying. Why it was like that? Even though there were very new people also, but they also felt the same thing. Srila Maharaj asked many people that what you felt at that time when you were crying. They mentioned that we don't know that, but still this thing happened. So then Srila Maharaj mentioned this is kind of thing. Can say like a cow. She lost her calf and she is crying in her own language, making some kind of sound. But others, whoever are around, they can feel the pain. How they feel the pain? She is unable to speak in language. but still they feel the pain. So in the same way, Srila Maharaj is mentioning what to speak of cow or any other animal. In the same way, if a person is crying in separation from the Lord, then others, whoever come in touch, they also feel the same kind of thing. Even though they may not feel that why they are sad, why they are crying, but still that fire of separation can touch them also. That's why it has been mentioned that whenever you go for darshan, if you want to worship Giriraj, then what you have to do? You have to do along with or under the guidance of Pranay Bhaktas, not by yourself. That's why he quoted the words of Srila Narottam Das Thakur and Bhakti Vinod Thakur again, that Gaur Amar Jesab Sthane Karila Brahman Range, that how I have to go to those places which were the places where Mahaprabhu stepped. I will be going only to those places with Pranay Bhaktas. And Narottam Das Thakur mentions that Sarva Siddhi Govinda Charane, there is no need to go to any pilgrim place. Why? Because all perfection can be there at the lotus feet of Govinda only. So why he is saying there is no need to go to any pilgrim place if you are going by yourself? Then there is no need, no fruit, no good result will come. But you go with Pranay Bhaktas. So Srila Maharaj mentioned that for this Giriraj Puja or on anything like that, even though if we are unable to go, Maharaj mentioned about himself that even though I am not going there physically, but still, because we remember Giriraj Govardhan, the way we have heard from our Guru Vargas. So this is also considered that under the guidance of our Guru Vargas, we are actually worshipping Giriraj. In this way we worshipped. And then at the end he mentioned that even though we don't feel that much of separation at this time from the Lord, from Giriraj, but still having firm faith in our heart that if like we have followed the footsteps of the great personalities, then definitely that day will come that when we will be also feeling same kind of separation which they had felt while remembering Giriraj Govardhan or worshipping him. Hare Krishna.
First we can distribute this one.